Coming up on Mapperton Live.
You know, I walked through this a gazillion times, just this avenue here, but seeing this installation here, it's changed the energy already.
Good morning, Raymond. How's your day going so far?
It's going well.
Let's go in and have a look and we can see how this thing all works.
That's the temperature it's going out at.
So temperature it's going out at is about 175 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
And it's coming back at about 100 and... Well, it's coming back even hotter, Raymond. So there's something wrong with that.
No, it's not hotter. It's probably
And now you've got to clear the flues.
clear the flues.
It's just not stopping. Look at this. Ah, whoa, my goodness. So the poor bull is out of a job.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Not sure what I really think about this, but I will just go with it.
Welcome to Mapperton, our family home and estate in Dorset in the southwest of England.
Julie and I took over running Mapperton a few years ago from my parents, the Earl and Countess of Sandwich.
It's a lot of work, but also a lot of fun. This place is full of fascinating stories, extraordinary people, and endless repairs.
So please join our family on this journey of a lifetime as we put all our efforts into preserving this magnificent part of England's heritage.
Hi everybody, I'm here today obviously at Mapperton and I'm with Luke's first cousin, Fiamma Montague, and her partner and in life and in business, Sam Baisley. And this is really, really an extraordinary moment here at Mapperton. And I personally am very excited about this. As many of you know, well-being is a huge part of my life. In fact, today has just ended my first big retreat since the pandemic. And alongside ending that retreat, we have this extraordinary installation. And I'm gonna have Fiamma and Sam talk you through this because this installation it's one of a kind. It represents so much, and it's called Open Sanctuary.
Open Sanctuary, the name, the idea is that it's open at all times and it's open to all faiths and religions. So, you know, it's Buddhist, it's Hindu, it's Christian. It's for anyone who wants to sit quietly in a contemplative moment.
Right.
So we drew it on the beach.
Yes.
Sam and I drew it on the beach during the pandemic, and we drew it so that it would be exactly the right size, so that you feel protected within it.
Yes.
Because you can meditate on a Swiss mountain, but you could be like, you're always aware of the fact someone could come at you.
Yeah, it does feel protected. Yeah.
So the idea is that you sit inside and you're just protected enough, but you're still in the elements. So you still have all of nature around you.
Right.
And you have the changing weather and the seasons all around you. So as the seasons change, you are the still point.
Right.
So Julie, if you're sat there, you are basically become the still point in the clock.
Right. Yes.
You have 24 pieces.
And the 24, me being the 24th, represents...
Well, it just represents the time.
Time.
So each one of these pieces is a day. And when we made each piece, we were in a different mood.
That's amazing.
So
there's 365.
So some are scratched, some have got black pieces, and as Sam will tell you about the textures that are beside him there.
They're all made in porcelain and
Right.
stone and earthenware, and each one is sculpted and shaped and then dried out over a period of days and fired, very high fired, so that they're very strong to withstand the weather. So it's a sculpture that can live outside, and
it's meant to live outside.
Meant to live
Yeah.
outside.
But so you came, but this has been a couple of years in the works, hasn't it? I mean, to think the right amount of space, I'm the 24th, representing obviously the 24 hours of day, and then you have 365
Exactly.
of these within a year, and all different. And for me also, it gives me the opportunity, I think, as somebody who obviously is very big into my meditation. I mean, I was meditating this morning. Did 3 meditations yesterday. There's a lot going on in my life right now. so I'm meditating quite a lot. But you know, when I saw this being installed today, one of the things that for me made me draw to it was that, like humanity, we're all different.
Yeah, that was a big point in that. So when I did the poppy installation at the Tower of London, every single poppy was different because each represented a soldier. And so that same idea that came from that installation has come through to this. Every single one is the same, but everyone is different.
Yeah.
And so you've got that running through everything. So you have black, brown, white,
Yep.
coloured, textured.
Of diversity.
Yes, exactly.
But it's at a human scale and an intimate piece.
And I can feel, you know, I really can, walking up to this. It's extraordinary how this installation has really changed. You know, I walked through this a gazillion times, just this avenue here, but seeing this installation here, it's changed the energy already.
Do you think?
Yeah, already. Because of the representation, you know, you do feel, for me, if this were to go away and I was sat here, yeah, I could meditate. But having the energy, knowing that I'm the 24th, 365, this is humanity around me. So there's a connection with the universe not only with nature, because that's all around me, but a connection with humanity as well.
I think that's
very true.
I think that's really true. And then that's the point about each one, because you can't make them the same.
No.
So then it's not an industrial process. So they're little finger marks. Here I've got little nail marks.
Yeah.
So the point is that you sit at this point, and then the bit about the connection that you were talking about, the connection point is you may come here at dawn, but someone else may come here at dusk or at midnight, or
Right.
but that you've got that same shared experience. So
Yep.
the point that you're coming to is the same.
Yes.
But you've left that person enough space to do it in their time. So their
Right.
time might be something completely different. I mean, it might be a different, isn't that right? It's a different time
Yeah.
of day for
You're
them.
looking for a feeling. You're always trying to, and it's about memory of place.
Yes.
So you may feel different in the morning as you do in the evening.
And I think also for me
Yeah.
personally, being, you know, obviously a yoga is a huge part of my life. And as we know, yoga has 8 limbs. It's not just the physical posture. And for me personally, when I come into the space, and relating back to what you were just saying, that I come in the morning, Luke comes in the afternoon, Sam comes in the evening. In one sense, I'm sharing this experience with others. Yeah, and I don't need to know who they were, or what they looked like, or where they came from, or what their religion is, or I have this shared humanity experience, because at the end of the day, it's shared humanity, you know, that's
Yeah.
what's extraordinary about this installation in particular, I think.
Exactly. So that's echoed by the pieces, but that's echoed by the exact point. So
Yeah.
you're coming
Yes,
back to the
exactly.
same point in
Point in
time.
time.
Same point in time, same point in time. So, you know, you may come back here, the light may be different,
Yeah.
shooting through. You may look down there, and because that's south facing, it may come down towards this.
Right.
In the early
Right,
morning.
right.
But another time of day, it's going to be completely different. So I think the shared humanity point is really, I think it's kind of clever that you got there.
I mean,
I think it's quite emotional
yeah.
being at Mapperton anyway, because for me, there's all the layering of time.
course.
You know, there's me running around in the garden when I was little,
Right.
and there's I see my teenage self, you know, kissing someone in the bushes over there, whatever, and now we're here together, Sam and I, having made this piece. So it's all quite emotional.
It is
really.
emotional, and I think, you know, the other thing, and I'm going to add to that, is, you know, when you look at really the country house itself, you know, the country houses, for the most part, were built in one sense to kind of keep people out, right? There was a class system, there was a hierarchy. What we're doing at Mapperton, and what many progressive contemporary owners who have these historic houses, who are simply just custodians, is we're breaking down those invisible walls and wanting community to come here and have this shared experience here, or a shared experience in the gardens.
That is very important.
Yeah.
That is very, very important, because of that point, which you have to break down those boundaries, and it has to be accessible to all.
That's right.
And this is accessible to all. And also, I think with a faith point of view, you know, you can be a Buddhist and sit in the same place as a Christian.
Or an agnostic,
Or an agnostic,
right,
or an
right,
atheist. You could meditate as an atheist, you know.
Yep.
So it's the same point, but and then the barrier bit about being open to all.
Yeah. Right.
That is,
Yeah.
that's got to be the future for everyone, right? And also outside for the kids,
Absolutely.
you know, because they're green.
Yes. Yeah, no, they're so
They're
good.
so green. I mean, your kids are so green. You know, they're letting
love
go
it.
of
Yeah.
pheasants and doing stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's,
Free. Yeah, they're freeing the
wanna be
animals.
in
Yeah.
They want to
Yeah,
be in
of course.
nature. So that's
Yeah.
kind of it. So that's pretty good.
Well, brilliant. I am
So you're
going.
happy?
Yeah, I'm beyond
you're going to
happy.
be here at dawn,
I mean, you know,
or in the evening, or
jubilated.
Jubilated.
So I'm going to definitely, you know, I'm going to be here in the next, I think, 24 hours. And I'll know when the time is right. You know how you can just tell? It's like when I swim in the pool. I'm like, now is my time, and I just can't wait to be here. And I'm going to, you know, have this wonderful shared experience with nature, but also I feel with humanity.
I think that's.
Well, it's a pleasure to share it with you.
Thank
I
you
think-
both.
Thank you very
I
much.
think forgiveness, peace, right here.
Well, all those wonderful,
All those good things.
all those wonderful values.
All those
Anyway,
great-
thank you both so much.
For early access to these videos, behind-the-scenes content, and other benefits, please become a patron at patreon.com/Mapperton Live.
Morning, Luke.
Morning, Raymond. How's your day going so far?
It's going well.
Is it?
Well, yeah. It's been rolling on since about 7:15 I started this morning. So.
7:15?
Yeah.
What were you doing at 7:15?
Well, I went up and undid the cottage
Yeah.
for the boys to come,
Right.
get that ready, and then
Yeah.
come back down here. And I've been pushing the chips in. So time flies. And then I had a meeting with yourself.
Yeah, we did. We
And,
looked at some repairs,
Yeah.
some quite expensive repairs.
Quite expensive. At the moment, everything's becoming very expensive. Timber's gone up maybe 100% or more in the last couple of years.
Is it timber?
Yeah. Cement.
What else?
It's all the building aggregates and things have gone up a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
the whole thing's going up. I don't know
Yeah.
why it's all going up.
The costs are going up, but
Yeah.
the income isn't going up to pay for it. I don't think
No.
in the same way.
No, I mean,
No.
no, that's quite
That's
true.
the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that only leads to one thing, doesn't it? Which is a bit of a deficit.
Well, there's a bit of a deficit, which you know, the structures suffer a bit, don't they? Because we can't quite get there to
Because
do everything.
we can't stay on top of doing all the maintenance
Yeah.
that needs doing.
Yeah.
But today we are outside a relatively new building, and I was actually having a look at it, Raymond, to see if I could see any decay
No, we
here.
just got.
And so far this building is mostly holding up, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Well, we're at the biomass shed where the boiler is. This section here is where the boiler is and all the controls. The pumping system for the district pump, I call it the district pump because it goes right up across the field to your mum's and the cottage next door. And so that continuously pumps all the way around all the time.
So there's an underground pipe that runs all the way from the big boiler that we have here, all the way around the immediate houses.
Yeah,
Also the conservatory.
yeah.
So the greenhouse.
The big
The main
manor-
house.
The main house.
The coach house with
And-
all of the cafe.
And the Airbnb.
The garden cottage
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
So it's doing quite a lot of heating, isn't it?
Yeah, one of the engineers said to me one day, because I said, you know, what's the flow rate? Well, we know what the pressure is going up across. And he said, if you put a little tiny imaginary duck in here, it would come back round in 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Yeah, because it has to go all
I
the
think
way.
would we get a little yellow duck, don't you think? And just
Well,
sort of stick it in.
We'd probably block it up.
Let's go in and have a look and we can see how this thing all works.
That's the main storage tank for all the heating.
So that's like a huge battery, isn't
Yeah,
it? So
yeah.
that is the big tank, contains all the hot water that gets heated by the boiler on our left here.
Yeah,
And that very hot water then gets circulated using all of these pumps
yeah,
around the whole system.
yeah. That's the temperature it's going out at. The temperature it's coming back, which is not much.
So temperature it's going out at is about
About
175
Yeah.
degrees Fahrenheit,
Yeah,
and it's coming back at about 100 and, well, it's coming back even hotter, Raymond. So there's something wrong with that.
no, it's not hotter. It's probably,
Right. Anyway, every so often you've got to do something here, haven't you?
Yeah,
Well, not
every-
every so often, almost every day.
I've got to clean the ash pan out, but I can't do it so quickly because I have to turn this off I have to turn it off and wait an hour before I can open
Before you can
that.
do it,
Although
okay.
There's red ash in there.
So we should start the process of switching it off, should we?
Okay,
So press that button
press that one.
and
That
boil
one.
it off. So now we come back in an hour?
Yeah,
Okay. In the meantime, we can look at the chip store.
yeah, we can
Which
look at
is
the chip
next
store.
door.
Yeah,
Great. After you.
okay. Here is the chip store. We call it a chip store.
The chip store.
Yeah.
Not edible chips.
No, not edible chips. No, these chips are blown in now.
Here we go. Look at that. And Raymond, do we know what sort of timber that is?
Well, mostly hardwoods.
Mostly hardwoods?
Yeah, all kinds of hardwoods in here.
And coming from a local
Yeah, not
sawmill?
Yeah, not far away.
Not far away. Where's it coming from?
Charlton mackerel.
Yeah. So when you say blown in, there's a big lorry that comes here,
Yeah.
and it's got like a huge tube, isn't it,
big
that comes
tube,
out,
yeah.
and it gets sucked
Yeah.
out of the lorry.
Yeah,
and,
blown out of the
and
lorry.
blown into here.
Yeah.
And then we have this huge store. And then how does it get from here into there?
Well, underneath there, there's two big rotors in there.
Yeah.
Two big, which take the chips into an auger. And what happens is it makes like a big cliff, a circular. So I just push that in, and it's covered them up at the moment.
Right. So it goes through the bottom here into an auger, which is a big sort of screw.
Yeah.
And that screw, you can see an example of that
Yeah.
up above.
Takes it
as
into the boiler.
Takes it into the boiler, and then the fuel just burns in the boiler, and that's essentially
Yeah.
how it works.
Yeah. Last Saturday morning.
But it doesn't always work, does it, Raymond? We've
most
had
of
a
the time.
few moments. Part of the reason we did this was because this is a more sustainable way of heating houses than gas and oil, or at least that's the theory. But there's quite a lot of controversy about biomass. The real problem with biomass is that it relies on burning fuel or timber that has been harvested recently. And the only way that that is going to be sustainable is if you replant and capture back the CO2 that you're releasing. So we're burning at the moment, we're releasing CO2. How do we make that sustainable and carbon neutral? Well, we have to capture the CO2 back by having trees. But the problem is the trees take 20,
years.
30, 40 years to grow.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing, and this is one of the things that we're going to change here.
Yeah.
Because I don't think biomass is sustainable in the way that it has been presented to be. I think a lot of us have had the world pulled over our eyes in terms of this being a method of heating that is good for the planet, because we're burning the CO2 now, and it's going to take 30 to 40 years for the trees to grow back. We don't have 30 to 40 years in order to solve the carbon issues that we have. So the solution, or part of the solution, is fast growing trees. If we could plant a tree today that we could harvest in 6 years' time, then of course that would mean we've actually captured that carbon ourselves, and it's neutral.
That's right.
And there's only one tree that does that, comes from Australia.
That's the eucalyptus.
The eucalyptus, exactly. So we are now looking at putting in a eucalyptus plantation at Mapperton in order to have a much more sustainable way of harvesting our biomass fuel. Anyway, let's go back and we'll have to wait a little bit before we can do the stoking.
Yeah.
While we were waiting for the boiler to cool down, Raymond and I decided to visit Porton, one of the farms on the estate. Raymond, since we're here at Porton, I thought we might just pop into the cowshed.
Yeah.
And you could introduce us to...
I don't know many of them.
You don't know many of them?
No.
There's quite a lot of them, aren't
There's
there?
a lot of them. They're all different.
Look at them.
Different ages.
Look at these lovely young things. Hello.
This is Jeffy's department. He looks after the young stock.
Yeah.
He.
So these are how old do you think?
I don't know how old they are. Probably
Just a few months.
a few months, I suppose.
A few months. And are they getting? Those look a little older and perhaps even younger over in the corner.
Well, there's heifers and cows amongst.
Can we tell which are the heifers and which are the cows?
Yeah,
at the
by
moment?
the bits and pieces that hang down.
I know there are bits and pieces that hang down, Raymond. I wasn't sure how obvious it would be
No, it's
at
not.
this age.
No, they don't sort of no facial expressions. Or
Well, they've all got facial hair,
Yeah.
so that's not much of a help, is it?
No.
Yeah.
But they all look so nice, though, don't they?
Anyway, we should leave these calves to themselves.
Yeah.
Because we've got a couple of anxious mothers over here who are giving us rather a hard stare.
Yeah.
So Simon, tell us where you're taking us and what we're going to see.
Taking you to the race, which is the second calved cow, which she's just come on to heat.
Right.
About 12 hours ago, 18 hours ago.
Right. So she's come on heat.
Yeah.
And we're going to do some artificial insemination. So the poor bull is out of a job.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, but the semen I've got here
Yeah.
is, fingers crossed, it's a heifer calf.
Heifer calf in the semen because
Yeah.
the semen has been predetermined in some way.
Yeah.
And she's going to get an artificial insemination,
Yeah.
which we're going to capture on camera. We came at just the right moment. Not sure what I really think about this, but I will just go with it. So there we go. In goes the rod. In goes the rod. Simon very skilled. She seems perfectly calm and happy. And we'll just let you concentrate, I think.
Right, I'm through the cervix now. Yeah, just through the cervix. And push the end of the rod very slowly. Job done.
That's it.
Job done.
Fingers crossed.
How long? 9 months.
9 months, 7 days.
Almost the same as
Yes.
our cycle.
Yeah, yeah.
When will you know whether she's pregnant?
In 30 days' time.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. We've got new life on the way
Yeah.
at Manor Farm. Simon.
Next generation, hopefully.
Yeah, next generation coming along. We've got another generation in there already, but
So what's
yet
the,
another.
what's the cow called?
They haven't got names.
They haven't got names.
No.
Just got number.
Just got freeze brand.
Freeze brand of
Yeah,
75.
yeah, 75.
Yeah.
Come in 75.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Simon. That
right.
was fascinating. And we will see you again soon.
Yes, okay. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Raymond, so we switched the boiler off,
Yeah, the boiler's off.
so it's
getting off.
cooling down.
Yeah.
And now you've got to clear the flues.
Clear the flues.
Clear the flues. So the flues are,
Well, these are the two back flues from the tubes inside, but that's the main flue
and that's the main one.
in there.
Right, and that's where all of the ash
Yeah.
is collecting,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
So this sounds like quite a dirty job,
It is.
is it?
Yeah. The firebox is in here. I put my mask on because sometimes it blows back on me.
So you're opening the boiler.
Yes. This is the actual boiler. This one,
Oh my goodness, can you see the flame in there, or is it?
you can sometimes if you pull
Sometimes.
it back. There's no fire. Did not be no fire in there.
Right.
Heat-proof gloves.
Stand back, everybody.
Well, it's not. It's normally I just crack it open a little bit. If there's any draft, it'll come out immediately. It's not.
Oh, I can feel absolute waft of heat coming
Yeah,
out.
see, up there, it's gone out. You can still see embers up there. About 1,000 degrees in there.
1,000 degrees.
Yeah.
That's
That's a lot. That's a lot of.
that's a lot of heat. And if you don't do it, what happens?
It goes out.
It goes out.
Simple as that, and then you get cold.
Because it gets blocked
Yeah.
and it can't get the airflow in, or
Yeah, that's right.
stops the air. Where does the air come in through then?
Into here, into there.
In through there.
The blower pulling it in now.
Got it. It's pretty space age, isn't it?
You can see how the technology is here.
So looking in here,
That's
yeah, look at that.
that's the nerve center.
That's sort of fully wired up. It's connected to the internet. We can control it from anywhere,
Yeah.
and mostly it works pretty well
It does work well.
as long as we clean the flues and don't have too big a piece of chip.
Yeah.
Problem comes when something like that arrives because it gets stuck. The pieces of chip are supposed to be no more than 5 centimetres, but that one is a good 15 centimetres, and it gets stuck in the system, the whole thing stops, and we lose all our heat. And if that happens in the middle of a yoga retreat, I get in a lot of trouble. Right, Raymond, oh my goodness, look at all of that.
Yeah.
So that is just pure ash,
Yeah.
is it?
So then make sure the door's shut.
Close it in. There we go.
It's not quite, we haven't finished yet.
Haven't we? All right, more to do.
Yeah, these two got to be taken out.
Right, we got these ones.
See, that one's full up.
Look at that. Where's that going?
Out round the corner.
Now around the corner. Okay. Shall I take one? You take the other.
Okay.
Right. Oh my goodness, it's quite heavy.
Yeah.
And out we go.
The little pile through here.
Oh, I see. So we're just pouring it in over here.
Yeah.
Past the wood pile.
Yeah.
And what do I do? Just take the top off and.
Yeah. Just take the 2 clips off. Then turn the spout towards you and tip it up. Mind it don't go in your face because it's dusty.
Oh my goodness.
You see, it's really dusty.
Holding my breath.
Yeah, hold your breath.
Luckily, it's going the other way. It's just not stopping. Look at this. There we go. Ah, whoa, my goodness. Right, now I feel like a cross between a stoker and a sweep. So the last part of this exercise, of course, is switching the boiler back on again. But before we do that, Raymond, I've noticed something. There's a lot of bird poo
well,
all over the place.
That's the swallows. They come in and they nest up on that pillar up there. And because they've come 6,000 miles to nest, I haven't got the heart to keep them out. So I go round with a cloth and just clean all this off.
You're quite a softie when it comes to animals,
well,
aren't
they've
you?
made the effort. I wouldn't want to flap my wings to 6,000 miles.
Yeah, 6,000 miles to get here.
Yeah.
And they know that when they get here,
there's a warm...
unlike many of their friends, they've got a really nice warm place to go. And the same family is coming back now.
Yeah, some of them were. They had this family had two hatches this year.
They had 2 hatches.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I mean, they just go off, and the place is like a big incubator, isn't it?
Did you give them names?
No, I haven't got that far.
But you've sort of adopted them. It sounds like.
Well, I just make sure that no one sees this after about a week, and then they've gone now.
They've gone on their way back to warmer climates.
Yeah.
And talking of warming, we've now got to get this going.
If you press the panel.
Press the panel. Ash box.
Yeah, clear the top corner.
Clear the error.
Then the red.
And then press the button, the magic red.
And then green.
Boiler on.
Yeah. And it should turn.
There you go.
Heating it, go on standby.
And the warmth is going to come back.
Yeah.
We can see that it says 70, different temperatures according to different parts of there.
Yeah.
But it's going to warm back up.
Yeah. I'll come and look at it when we come back, and then...
And by lunchtime, it will be lovely and toasty.
Yeah.
If you would like to watch the next episode right now, please become a patron at patreon.com/Mapperton Live.